and trees and leaves.
Are you in front of the castle or you're inside?
No, I'm just flying up above it.
I see. So you see a lot of people?
Yeah, there's a few that are just walking along like the corridors of the castle, and really just there's a lot of, it's very hilly as well.
So
a lot of water, a lot of fountain movement, and birds chirping.
So how you feel when you're observing this place from above?
It's very peaceful, it's very calm, a lot of serenity, just no negative energy whatsoever, just positive and love, light.
And so you're flying or you're floating?
I would say more floating.
So what is the connection between this place and you?
I go here in between lives. It's a good way to reset.
What you can do in this?
It's a way to recharge and connect with the other souls there. And
so just imagine or just see yourself when you're connecting with other souls. What that feels like.
It's really just energy vibrating and connecting, and a lot has to do with the third eye. Yeah.
Tell me more about that. What do you feel about your third eye?
The third eye is...
So there's energy coming out of that area?
Yeah, it's the telepathically. That's how we're able to communicate, is through there, through that third eye. And
put yourself in that situation when you're using this energy to connect with another soul.
Yeah, it seems that's where all the wisdom is really located, is through there, and being able to pick up on energies. And
so you use this energy also to communicate to, let's say you want to say anything to them or tell them how you feel.
Yep, that's where it all comes from.
So can you see any colors of this energy, or is it just a feeling?
It's more of a feeling. There isn't a certain color for the energy in the third eye, but everybody has a different energy. I'm not sure if there's different colors, but there's certainly a different aura, and people are vibrating more higher, will have more aura, and like their presence will be more vibrant.
So I want you to really put yourself in that kind of situation that you have done this before. So what is like, and what do you do with each other, how you can feel each other's energy or understand each other. And so I'm going to count from 1 to 3. On the count of 3, you will really feel this energy coming from your third eye area, and you can feel everything even more. 1, you are going to be in that state and you are going to exchange your energy with others. 2, you're almost there. And 3, feels third eye energy is very powerful.
Yeah, it's almost like the energy, it gets trapped, and that's when you're not able to manipulate.
Tell me more. Why it can get trapped?
Well, it's mostly just fear of ego, and that is mostly where it gets trapped inside the body. And
so it cannot come out, and if it does come out, it's gonna be like a pushed back in.
If the energy does come out, then it just comes out. You don't have to put it back in. It's once it leaves, and there it goes.
And this energy is infinite?
It's always there. It keeps going. There's no beginning, no present, no future. It's just always is.
What else you can do using this energy?
Infinite. There's no boundaries, no limits.
So where are you now? Notice your surroundings.
Looks like I'm in the Renaissance era. Maybe a wedding.
Whose wedding?
I'm not sure, but I see a woman in a white dress and a nice circular hat with flowers and tie around her neck, gloves, red hair, girly.
Do you feel maybe that's you?
Possibly.
How she feels this moment?
She feels ecstatic in this dress and the flowers, and she just loves beauty and just looking beautiful, and possibly this is her wedding day. So
and she feels happy?
Yeah, she does.
And tell me this place.
It looks like she's in a house, maybe like a mirror. She's looking into a mirror. How she looks, she's not too sure, but there's still a lot of happiness going on.
And she's with anyone else?
No, she's just by herself.
And let's see, what does she do next? And before you do that, what are you saying to yourself?
She isn't doing much, but not getting as much, but there isn't a lot of connection between her and her spiritual self. It's a lot of materialism materialism going on a lot.
Tell me more. When you say material things going on.
She has a nice bed, a very beautiful house, and those things make her happy, but she isn't as in tune with her internal life and her internal self. And
she's not?
No, accumulating wisdom as much more.
And she's aware of that, or she's not?
No, she's not too aware of it. She's more focused on the external life. And she's okay with that.
And who can you see? Can you understand who she's married to?
Now she's in a carriage. Maybe that's with horses, horse-drawn carriage. And
she's going to the wedding, or
possibly.
Right. And who she's with?
I'm not sure. She might be with a man. There's not that much information coming in, but
okay. And how she feels about being with this man?
She's very attracted to him. She really, he does bring her a lot of happiness that she isn't able to get anywhere else.
And can you look at his eyes?
Yeah, they're light and they're they're more squinted, like he's looking at the inside of her more than just what she looks like. He really cares about who she is.
So he can feel more of her inside instead of just her look. But how about she look at him more from inside, or just?
There's definitely both going on with them, which is something that they want. They want both.
And do you feel this man's energy feels like someone in Ashley's life?
Yeah, she met him briefly at a bar, but she never got his number, and they connected very deeply briefly, but that was it.
So you can tell the energy from this man's eyes. It's the same person that Ashley met in the bar.
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to move to the next important moment.
Maybe I'm getting a window of some sort.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about this window.
Let's find out. You know everything. This is window of what?
It's a window of knowledge, but it's hard to open.
If it's a window, it's supposed to be open, can be opened or closed. And what made you feel this is a window of knowledge?
It's only accessible for certain people, but it's only when you feel like you're really ready for it, you're able to get that certain, open it.
Yeah, so when you're ready, then you can open it.
Yep.
So right now you're seeing this window. The window is in front of you, and I'm sure if you're not ready, you will not be able to see this. So do you feel you're ready?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm ready, and I do want to get that knowledge, but I think it's all of it's asking and really wanting it, wanting it.
Yeah.
And the intention.
Yes.
The intention has to be right.
And see what you like to do. You can also communicate with the window if there's anything else you need to do. Gain this knowledge.
Meditate more. Tap in your inner power and your inner wisdom more, and having more confidence and always doing the right thing, no matter what no matter what
they say.
Yeah.
But I feel you are doing that.
Yes, she is, but there are certain blockages that occur, and it's mostly about what other people think, and that's all it is.
So am I speaking with Ashley's higher self?
Yes.
So what is the reason you showed this window for her?
She needed to grow more on that spiritual level, and then it will open up after that.
So you are showing her this window is to let her know she's almost there.
Yep.
And I feel her spiritual growth is very rapid. She changed a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, the way that she can really alleviate fear has been pretty exponential for us, and we really do appreciate seeing all of that. And once that fear is completely gone, almost all the way, then she'll really be able to spin off.
So the fear of concerning about what other people say?
Yes, and of certain outcomes. It's more just being and listening to that inner wisdom.
And so what's the purpose for you to show her this woman who is going to marry this man? Is there any particular reason you want her to see this?
Because that's what she signed up for in this life.
Yeah? You'll elaborate on that more?
Because there's a sort of emptiness that is felt without it, and that she won't be able to experience once she has that. She wants to be able to love more, and the only way that it's going to be able to happen is if there is love for other beings first. project. So there is, but it won't be deep like that. You can't love all beings until there's one that you truly love, and then you can project it onto others.
So that can become like a trick.
Yeah, a trigger for love, and then being able to spread it once you have that.
So she is going to meet someone like that?
Yes, if that is what she desires, she will get whatever she puts her energy in, she will get.
But she doesn't have to look for that person.
No. She will do what her higher self tells her to do. And that just learning to do what she was meant to do, which is spread light and love, no ego, and work on herself. She'll find the right person.
And when she meets with someone that she feels something about this person, she shouldn't reject. She just go with the feeling.
Yep. Yeah, she tends to avoid and not avoid relationships more, and rather than gutting through them.
Because she does not feel that should be her focus now, but that's not the case.
Yes.
I was going to ask something. So she's going to graduate in a couple months. What is the right thing for her to do at that time? Or is this something that she needs to know now? Or maybe she will figure it out naturally?
She will use her intuition to figure out exactly what she needs to do for the graduation, and that will guide her into the right place, the right time.
So earlier we were talking about this, doing some podcast to have a spiritual talk between Ashley and me. Do you feel that's something that she can do?
Yeah, that is something she can certainly do. And whatever she puts her energy in, she is all in. That is one thing about her, is that she's
focused.
Yeah, and when something she feels that will really make an impact, and if she knows that it will, truly spread the awareness, then she'll do it, because she wants the consciousness to be elevated, because she gets frustrated when she sees that it isn't.
So she is someone, yes, we did a session before, but I don't remember this part. So she has been on Earth many times?
49 times.
How about altogether? How many physical lives she had?
I think around 1,000.
So what is the purpose for her to come to Earth this time?
There's no direct purpose, but to meet with the people that she wants. She has decided to, and to heal.
To heal others?
Yep.
So she will be doing something with healing, or in other words, she will become a light worker.
Yeah, whatever she does, it will be solely focused on healing others, because that she feels the most out of that, and she really doesn't like being in the spotlight, so she won't do anything that is really ego-based, or she'll try to veer away from that, just because she runs away from that as much as she can.
Very good. I feel everything you said is really very perfectly described how I feel about her. So one question is, do I know Ashley from other lives?
No. Seems that this is the first time that we've met, that they have met on Earth. They have never met
other places.
But maybe it is possible that on other physical forms they have met, but
So is there any other I'm wondering, where is a good place for me to take her to look at some lives or some places? What do you suggest?
It seems that she has a very deep connection with Egypt.
Right. Anything else?
It seems that in ancient times that she had a few carnations there, and she was able to learn a lot through her spirit guides by going there, and she incarnated with them.
With them? So they had a life together in Egypt?
Yep, she would incarnate with her spirit guides there, and her main spirit guide was her father once there.
So it was her father when she had a life in Egypt.
Yep.
So we can do that. Let's say we can have another one life and say, okay, I want to have this life with my spirit guide, or the spirit guide became spirit guide after that life. It doesn't matter.
He was definitely her spirit guide before that, and he really taught her how to love, but also non-attachment as well, and the difficulty of losing someone. So so close and so loving, but she was very grateful for that.
So that spirit guide is not in Ashley's life as a human.
No.
He's acting as her guide in this life.
Yes.
So I also want to ask this question. So as Ashley's higher self, or right, as Ashley's spirit guide, so they have a different role. They do different things. They're responsible for different things.
They communicate with each other. Her higher self is what is here on this planet, and that's helping. And then the rest of her energies in the spirit world, but then the spirit guide is able to connect with her on that deeper level and tune into her powers that she has. And that's through that third eye, that pineal gland, that she's able to connect with the spirit guide and channel all those energies. And that it gets blocked a lot though, and it's a lot of that has to do with the fear and the blockages that occur. And
so is that we know the third eye, the pineal gland, the third eye energy is very important energy. It seems how does that work? Like, so is that our, let's say, soul's energy, or we can have energy from let's say other chakras?
Yeah, the pineal gland, so the third eye, we can get energy from the other ones, but
so let's say from a heart chakra, right? Also there's energy from there. So what's the importance of the third eye energy?
It's the only one where you can really tap into the higher self. The other ones you can't really tap into higher self as much. They're more like energies that you open, like the heart. The heart opens the sacrum, or there's the reproductive one.
I see. So how about the aura? What is that? Is that our soul's energy? It's overall role, like our energy form?
Yeah, the aura is the energy form. It comes in colors, and it does have a rainbow like on the orb. There's a bunch of orbs that will be seen in physical form, and only some people can see it. And
Ashley seems that she can kind of see that.
Yeah, she's tapped into that inner wisdom of being able to see the orbs and the energies flow. And
so what's the purpose for her to have this ability?
To be selective in who she surrounds herself with. That will allows her to see who has a higher energy and get that higher energy and aura and interact with them, and really know that that is the best way to spread that light and love, and being able to spread that to others around her and play off that energy, so to speak.
So can we say this, the soul is not inside of this body, but the body is inside of our soul?
The body.
So where is the soul energy? It's because of the aura is outside of this body, because the soul is much bigger than the body.
The soul, we're really just energy vibrating in a very, very slow, or just, it's not really something that can be explained in words. It's hard to explain. It's because it's not physical. So in the 3D physical realm, you can't really, it's hard to describe, but a lot of it.
So let's say, I always want to ask this question. So as a higher self, so let's say when you look at Ashley, what do you see from your vision? What do you see this body, this physical being? Is like you see its energy form? You don't see the body, or you can see her like that, what I can see as this person, Ashley?
No, we can see the energy and the physical. We can see both.
I see.
So we can see her in the daily life and her interactions. We can see everything.
I see. You can see it from outside, from inside.
Yeah.
And so let's say if we have some certain disease or some pain, physical pain, and you understand and you know that that's not physical issue. There's a spiritual reason made that happen.
Yeah. So physical, it depends. It can manifest itself through hard physical labor, but ultimately the mind is what creates everything. So
the mind, let's say, created the disease?
Yeah, through the thinking, and through that's one way that it can happen, through the mind just overthinking and just not tapping into that higher self as much. That is one part of it. And through that disease, that can be it can transcend them. them. So it's a way to gear them on the right path, but it doesn't always work. So sometimes when it doesn't work, they succumb to it, or
So I did not understand this part. What doesn't work?
the disease itself. So
It's a reminder for
Yeah.
us to change.
yeah, it's like an awakening for them.
So if that doesn't work, if the person did not get this message, and what happens?
They either succumb to it, and that is if they many times they'll be overly negative. They'll be like they don't think that there's any other way that there could be different outcome. They'll succumb to it if they truly believe that will be the outcome. But if they don't and they transcend, then they will heal and they will grow, and that's whatever they decide.
So okay, so what do we do to be able to transcend? Let's say if someone had cancer, right? So this person, if the person has this realization that this is not a disease, this is just a reminder from the mind or from the soul that they need to do something differently. So if the person realizes this, and then this person can transcend this cancer, the person can be healed without doing anything.
Yeah, they remember, they wake up, they're like, oh, this doesn't feel right, and this is not supposed to be how it is, and then they wake up and they will transcend.
So the cancer will disappear.
Yep, they will, once they can truly become themselves, who they truly are through it, then they can wake up and they can heal it.
So let's say now I have more questions. So let's say someone had got a cancer, and so usually what people go through is the chemotherapy. So they do they take different therapy. So but nothing is physical, because everything is there's a spiritual reason I made this disease happen. If they are not they don't have the realization that they need to change, or they need to live their life in a different way, and they only receive therapy. So what will happen? Sometimes the people can also get healed because of that. So what do you say?
The spirit guides have a lot to do with the healing. That plays a big part. Like they can heal the cancer, but they will only heal it if the person really they want to grow more, and they have a lot of more opportunity for growth.
If they're willing to change.
Yeah, if they're willing to change, and they feel that person, or that energy, that soul will learn if it's cured, if it's not.
So looks like it's the therapy or whatever they did in the hospital cured them, but actually it's because the spirit guide healed this. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
So the spirit guide can do a lot of things to just change the situation. If they see that there's the person is going to change, they're willing to learn, and then they will be saved by their spirit guide.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of times where miracles happen. The spirit guides will just come in and manifest whatever they need. Just manifest the cancer to go away. They manifest it and they get it.
So basically, we never need to go to the hospital.
Going to the hospital, it can heal, but in a sense, it deters us away from like the deeper meaning, and it heals, but it's more forced. So it's like that could have been
that it can have like a recur, the disease can come back later.
Yeah, like it can come back later if you go to the hospital. Like it.
So let's say I just want to ask this: if someone had a heart attack, right? So the procedure is to put a stent. So what is a heart attack really means to that person? To different people can means different things.
It's a heart attack. It can be, in a sense, it can be a way for someone to leave the body. It is one source, but other times it can be there's overuse. There's too much anger, too much blockage, too much not trusting, and just not enough letting things go and letting things pass through them. And that can be a way to sort of wake them up and say, hey, like you can't react so much anymore.
So it usually is because a lot of anger.
That it can be a lot of anger, anxiety, worry, a lot. It comes from that. Yeah.
So that's the message to that person.
Yep.
So what is this? Like let's say someone after the heart attack, so they were in hospital, and then the doctor put those stent to open those vein, those artery. So what does that stent do? It's a temporary, temporary cure. It doesn't really solve the problem if the person does not change.
Temporary cure cure, as in like medicine and all of that,
Uh-huh.
that it can cure, but a lot of the times the placebo effect occurs and they believe that it will cure, and it will.
Uh-huh.
And the person can change that way, but a big portion of it as well has to do with mindset. It does. And letting things pass through them more.
Uh-huh. If the anger is still there, then this can reoccur again.
Yeah, so they just have to let it out and work through, let it go through them, other than running away or just keeping it locked inside.
Right. And so the person needs to at least find a way to express this anger, to let the anger, to be able to release this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So another thing I want to ask, because this is all kind of fatal disease, I believe it's probably more or less a similar type of a situation made this person have this kind of disease. So let's say, I'm not too sure how to use the word for this. So someone's heart beats sometimes faster, sometimes slower. So they also need to, when that happens, and the person feels the like pain, chest pain, and they need to also do surgery. This is a very similar type of situation.
So heart beating fast,
Like a
chest.
yeah, and sometimes too fast, sometimes too slow. So it's not the same rate. It's arrhythmia. I'm not sure how to call that disease.
Okay.
What is the cause, the spiritual cause? It's very kind of similar like a heart attack, but a little bit less severe.
It's more complicated. There might not be a big spiritual reason for that.
Uh-huh.
Just might be the way that the way that the heart is designed.
Uh-huh.
And
So the person just have the
The-
heart is kind of weak.
yeah, it's like an electrical impulse. It's not getting through as much.
Uh-huh.
But if it's beating too fast, that can be a sign of too much, like before with the heart attack, too much,
Stress.
yeah, overly stress, anxiety, not following that inner wisdom, that path that they should be following, not using their intuition, then that can work up to that.
Uh-huh. Right. It's very similar. So all the fatal disease, they have something in common. Is the person is not following his or her intuition.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And if they do, then the situation will change, and their spirit guides can come in and heal them.
Yep. Or they could have signed up for that, to have that
that
heart
experience.
issue and have that experience. And
sometimes it's for their family members to learn something from it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's an agreement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And anything about Ashley physically, she doesn't have any issues that you want to address, or she might have if she doesn't pay attention?
No, but she's been having skin issues, and that's mostly because she isn't more like living in the present moment enough and not realizing the wisdom that she has and following in her path.
So if someone has a skin issue, then we can say, oh, probably the person is not following is not living in the moment. Most of the time is because of that.
It's partly it, and the energy change of the seasons, that can be it too. Like the lunar cycles, it's part of it. And
but some people, they have more skin issues than others.
Yeah, a lot of times those people, they will actually sign up to have that because they don't want everything to be perfect. They want to be judged in a sense, like they don't.
So they can learn something from it.
Yeah, so they don't be as focused on the physical body in the material world. They're like, they know that there's something deeper within them that it teaches them more. They won't get sidetracked, so to speak, on their duty, their guidance.
So they're creating this roadblocks for them to learn more or learn something that they need to learn in this life.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing when they have usually any sort of physical ailments. That's what that is.
I see. So I have one unique question. I just want to ask this. You can tell if I describe someone that Ashley doesn't really know that person. But if I describe what happened to this person, what happened between me and this person, you can also feel this person's energy. It does not matter if the person is here or very far away.
Yes.
So, and also keep staying positive. Is that always what we should do?
Yeah, as much as we can, but there's also real life where you have to be truthful how you feel, and faking isn't always the best option.
I don't even feel that I can do anything like that. Like I feel Ashley is the same way.
Yeah, it's like, because then the people will feel that fake energy, and it's not healing.
It doesn't serve anything.
Yeah, and in a sense that will allow other people to learn. If you don't send out what they expect, then they'll learn.
Right.
Then okay, like that's fine. That person, it's that unconditional love, so to speak. It's like, okay, I feel for this person. Maybe they're not, they're going through it. You know, they're being truthful, which is a good thing.
Yes. And sometimes, do you feel this is also how we should, when we're growing and learning, and we are not perfect. So sometimes we are acting the way that we know we're not supposed to, or we could do better. But sometimes we can get angry, get upset, and say certain things. That is a part of the learning.
Yeah. And it seems best for her actually to play the game, even though she gets angry with it for a lot of people. But because sometimes it might create resentment and confusion later.
If she doesn't act how she feels, so it's better to express her feeling at
Yeah.
that moment. Yes, I felt that. I felt like it doesn't really work. If you feel one way, but you are telling yourself you should not express this anger, let's say, that can also become a resentment later.
Yep.
So what's the best way if someone who is awakened, and when something upsets the person, let's say upsets Ashley, and she's not happy, do you have anything you can guide us for us to not to hurt the other person, but also express ourselves?
Express yourself with
Love.
with love, without judgment or shame.
Just express.
Yeah.
The intention is not to hurt the other person. Just tell them how you feel.
Exactly.
Yes, I feel that's the best I can do. Like, tell them I feel sad, or I feel not happy, unhappy, right? But instead of attacking the others or criticizing the others, just let them know how we feel.
Yeah, and it's hard for her and for other people to sometimes move past that, because there's almost like this addiction that occurs with the negative energy, with the violence and the anger. It's like they were grown up around it, and that's all they're used to, and it's like they get addicted to that, and that the drama, the story, and all that.
So what we can do to get out of this, to really transcend? Can you say those habits is like a virus, or is just it's an addiction?
It can be both. It is a bad habit, and the way to move past it is you just get through it.
Right. It's very hard to change those if you have been doing that way for years. But we can change as long as we have the awareness.
Yeah, as long as you have the awareness and willingness.
And each time, maybe you try, we can put a little, and compare with last time. If you do a little bit better this time, that means next time you will do even better.
Exactly.
I see. So I want to ask, so Ashley has some sort of fear about money. What this fear is coming from?
It's all ego-based. That's really it. And
it's not from her some other lives that she was poor or was traumatized. Should I take her to, if there's a life that she can look at it?
She does have trauma from her past lives, but it doesn't seem to serve her at the moment. And
is it just her ego?
It's mostly, it's the fear of loss.
So this is some sort of beliefs that she developed in this life?
Yes, as we all do, and it's societal created. And
we all have this disease. Everyone's afraid of if they can survive.
Yeah, it's that basic survival instinct.
This is like a deep fear, and like, what if I don't make enough money to be able to pay my rent, to pay my bills? But this is what do you say about this? Because I have people say, we live in New York City, and it's very expensive to live here. So everyone is doing their best to be able to just meet this, be able to pay for their expenses. So that's why we're not following our highest joy. We do something that it pays the bill. So what do you say about this?
As long as they're spreading spreading light and love and they're healing, that's really all that matters. It can be as a way to pay the bill, so to speak, but as long as they're spreading that positive energy, then that's okay.
But if someone really hates what he or she does, then they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, in a sense, like they do. If they do, they won't be able to spread that. Then that
because they feel negative when they're working.
Yeah, exactly. In a sense, they could also learn to be grateful. There could be that as well, as in they're not grateful for what they have. They hold it in within them, but that also is a possibility.
So anything can make us learn.
Yes, everything and anything.
So what kind of a connection she has with the Andromeda?
A lot of the energy from her father's family is from there.
And
the father's family, they have more Andromeda energy.
So what does that mean, Andromeda energy, if you can?
They've incarnated on that solar system.
Yeah. So that energy is, let's say, loving energy, compassion.
Yeah, a lot of just love and positive energy, big eyes. Yeah, bigger eyes that they have, blue.
So what does that bigger
water?
Eye. So the eyes, the size of the eyes, I heard it shows the spiritual level. Like that's why the grays, let's say the extraterrestrials, usually they have big eyes.
Yeah.
That it has
that's more of that Andromeda energy. The bigger eyes. Doesn't matter the color, just the size.
So, but this has nothing to do with, let's say, Asian people. They have like thin eyes. That has nothing to do with the spirituality level, or has something to do with.
No.
That's just genetic.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Maybe the shape possibly, but I don't know the size for Asian people. But yeah, back to the Andromeda. There's a lot of those highly evolved spiritual beings will come here, and they're drawn to more water-like things, like mermaids, like because they come from the water in that solar system. The beings there, they'll be. It's hard to explain, but the physical form that they are is underwater.
So the whole galaxy?
Possibly. It's the majority of it. It might be all of it, but the Andromeda is ringing the water bell, and the mermaid, and the being very drawn to just water itself. Those people, they have more Andromeda vibes because that's why they love it so much. And they don't speak that much either. They kind of just like make those like high pitched squeals. Possibly that's more of like their energy, and that's like how they communicate with each other. It's more like telepathically.
Right. So because I have one client and she's from Andromeda, and so her higher self said she's not very good at when it comes to speech because they don't talk in words.
Yeah, that's like Ashley and her father's family energy. Like they don't really like to speak that much. Like they can be like more on their quiet side because they have that more like water, like that energy going on, and it's they like to speak in other ways, like maybe through like art or music and like connection with animals.
I see. Or connection with nature.
Yeah, because it just like they connect on a deeper level there, and they haven't really accumulated that much karma on Earth. Not really like that Andromeda energy, so they connect deeper on different levels. They still have relationships, but they can be more like very like more surface oriented, and not like totally deep, like it can be, but it's more like playful energy.
So that's why, to avoid creating karma.
Yeah, like they won't like be too deep into it.
So if someone not very into, let's say, romantic relationship, or not very into having a family, does that mean this person's spiritual level can be high?
Yeah, I wouldn't get too into like spiritual levels, but they, in a sense,
they know they don't want to go too deep.
They want. They're more focused on their purpose and what they're interested in, and finding that truth, which is healing.
Yes. So can we say healing is also, let's say, if someone is very into waking other people up, that is also healing?
Certainly, because they're able to tap into themselves more and really hone down on why they're here. And
yes, and then everything starts from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I feel I have some, this thing in common with Ashley is we're all very much into waking people up.
It's important too to not get too deep with them because it scares them. So to let them know what you think, but meet their level,
right?
Because they'll get too like, oh, you're
shocked.
Yeah, like you're too into it. Just live now. But different energies, it's hard not to when you're the thinking level is so deep, so much into it.
So is this something that does not happen on most planets, or this can be the way, like on Earth? I would say more than 50% of people, until the time they die, they leave the body, they will not become awakened. Is that something just does not happen on most planets, or this is common?
This planet is very, it's not, it's almost like they want to say sophisticated, but it's like more, it's more rare, sophisticated in a sense that you don't.
I did not get it.
That you don't, it's more attuned to where you don't wake up.
And that's the way it has been designed, where this is...
Yeah, it's mostly designed for that. And the people that come here are usually newer, so they don't. That's just how it is.
But that's also something that make me think, like, if they're newer souls, why they want to choose to come this place? It's much harder.
They want to learn faster, which is, that makes sense. They learn more quicker.
I see. It doesn't matter if they don't become awakened, they still learn a lot. Because the way it is, that the life on Earth is challenging.
Yeah, they want to get through all those hardships. Some of them will skip planets, like skip a bunch, just to have that exponential growth occur. And one can reach enlightenment here. So
Ashley had 49 lives on Earth, but there are people had more thousands of lives on Earth. It's because they don't feel they learn enough. They keep coming back. Yes, can be because of the karma, but besides that, is because they want to learn more, or they keep missing.
They like it. They just like experiencing it. They think it's fun. It's a fun game. Can be. They choose. They are like, oh, let's have that
let's do it
fun
again.
Time together. Yeah, let's do it again. Why not? Like we like it.
But that's not what most people feel when they are here.
It's perspective. And they're like, it's hard, but it's a story.
So when they are in a non-physical form, they feel that, oh, it's worth it. It's fun.
Yeah,
we can do it again.
Yeah, we can do it again. Why not?
Because each time they learn different things.
Yeah.
And also, this sometimes I just really want to know certain things. So is Galactic Federation is the one who created Earth?
I don't know that much about Galactic Federation, but in pertains of who created Earth, we created it. Like we as beings, this source, and a lot of mistakes happen, but it's almost like it was good that it happened because we learned. It's exponential.
And it's also because Earth is unique, so this is a very different planet compared with others.
Yeah, very unique. A lot of the planets are more simple.
Yeah, because when people talk about their lives on other planets, I never heard anything like even close to Earth. It's a beautiful planet, has a lot to offer.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place for those who are willing to learn, who are smart, motivated, want to manipulate energy the best that they can.
So they can do a lot here.
They have endless opportunities.
Yes, like Ashley.
Yep.
That's why she came back.
Yeah.
And so she feels a strong connection with this wise blood, this singer.
Yeah, she sure does.
And so I know probably because of the sound of Andromeda. Does she has any connection with this person?
They've had past lives together, so that's a big reason. And a lot of that same energy will occur once you've done that, and they have similar interests, so that's a lot to do with it.
See. Anything else? I'm going to take her to that life in Egypt. Anything else that I could have asked, but I not? Anything you want to let her know?
Nope, just keep following that intuition, and that will take you places.
Right. It's that simple, right? Everyone should just do that.
Yeah, it's really that simple.
Mark, I really appreciate this communication.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so now, Ashley, I want you to listen to my words. words, and I'm going to take you through time and space to this life, the life that you had in Egypt. And this is a very important life for you to take a look. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. On the count of 1, you will be in the right place with the right people. 3, we're going through time and space, and you'll feel excited to be there. 2, you're getting very close to this moment. You're almost there. And 1, when you're ready, let me know where you are.
There's a lot of crying occurring.
Crying.
Yeah. She's a young boy and her father has died. Her spirit guide.
So her father is an important person, not just to her fathers.
Yeah, he was extremely important to the village that they were in, to her and to him, and that he really meant everything. And she didn't, the mom, there was no mom. It doesn't seem like she was in the picture.
Okay. And so what happened to her father?
He got sick, disease struck him, he died.
And so
she was so overly attached to him. And it's certainly a very big lesson that she learned.
So what she knows that she has learned from father, what kind of impact?
Taught her how to love. And he had so much wisdom to offer her that no one else really has offered her in a while. In that life and a lot of life, it was just something so profound that she'll never forget. And that energy will never forget.
And so this love also is something that the people from the village, they felt as well?
Yeah, the people in the village, they all felt it, and they were all in sort of teepees. They just were very simple living. They like just lived in those small huts together, and they would build fires. Very, very simple living, and a lot easier, a lot more community based.
So when was this? What do you see? The year?
Something like 1600. Not sure if it's BC or
AC.
Yeah.
Or AD.
Yeah.
But
something like that.
So how she feels when her father passed away, what she says to herself?
He didn't think he can move past it. He almost died of a broken heart, but and he might have actually. He might have actually died after that. Not some sickness, but a sickness that he created because he was just so torn up about it.
So he is supposed to leave when he was, let's say, still young.
Yeah, but he created the disease and died.
So he created before he came to this life, or he created it when he's in that life?
He created it in that life, just from the hopelessness and despair.
So that's something that everyone can do. Like if you feel there's a reason, there's a purpose, there's a reason for you to do that, and you can just make that happen.
Yeah, that's something that you can do to yourself, or it will be brought upon you if you're ready to go.
But you created unconsciously.
Yeah, unconsciously it's created.
So then if that's the case, there's no cure.
There can be if you work through it and you realize that, but not always.
So you can also, in a way, you can say, you can change your mind.
Yeah.
You can say, okay.
It's all mind. A very big part of it is mindset.
So what does this teach his daughter in this life? She learned the love. What else?
Yeah, she learned that. She learned that, and she tried to teach her non-attachment, but it was extremely difficult. And that's a big difficulty that we all have.
The attachment towards our family members.
And that's something that people come to Earth so that they can experience that serious attachment, and they're able to experience that loss and work through it and really get through it. And then they can go back into the spirit world, and then they can help others because they know what it feels like. They know how difficult that is to lose a loved one and be that deep into it.
This can be one of the most difficult things that people are experiencing on Earth.
Yeah, and it's important to actually do it though, because you can project it on other people. So you project it on, so you love, because in the end you have to be loving towards everybody and not fall in love, but be love and actually love everybody unconditionally.
Not just one.
Yeah, not just one person, but as you do it a bunch of times, then you eventually find that.
Right, because most people on Earth, they have a tremendous love towards their, let's say, family, children, or right, especially children. But what they're really learning from that experience is you will understand this love is not just for your children. The love is, eventually they will understand, is the love love everyone.
Yeah, like it's for every being and everyone, and then they realize the connectiveness of everybody as just one universal being.
Yes. Anything else that in this life that she needs to know?
Yeah, just love.
So how does this life impact Ashley's life now? She understands love at a deeper level?
Yeah, she does. She has experienced it as a child growing up.
And so she has this very unique relationship with her mom that has everything to do with this type of learning.
Yeah. Yeah, she signed up to incarnate with her and learn, as difficult as she chose it, but they've learned so much from each other, and they really help each other grow, and doing that interesting dynamic. But
and this is very challenging, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
And she's getting there. She's doing so much better with this relationship.
Yeah, that relationship would be challenging for most people, but her centeredness and groundedness is able to move past it, and she knew that she could, and she has. And the dynamic with her sister also helps with her more fighter mode, in that the sister fights it more, and she's able to see that dynamic, and that is overall a healing sense, in that the sister has that fighter energy and she has more of that grounded stableness, and then she can see that dynamic, like, oh, this is what happens if you obey, and this happens if you don't. So that dynamic was always made to grow up in.
So this is something that she planned. Before she came to this life, and
yeah, that was always pre-planned. That was meant to happen. That's the roles, the dynamics that is a common in the families. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if her family members are spiritual or not. They're learning from each other.
Yeah, there was never that much spirituality, and that's okay. And
because that's the way it is. Most people on earth will not become awakened in this life, as you said earlier.
Yeah, or they will, but they just don't apply it as much because they just want to be able to play the game, so to speak, play the game. It's more fun that way, and might as well live and have fun rather than be so deep into it that that's all they do, and like it's not as fulfilling for them to just live that way. That's for most people.
So let's say if someone is very into the material things, let's say money making, and they just want to have more and more, and they despite they already had enough, so they are also can be someone just playing this game, and they know they gained, let's say, a lot of money, but they still have some sort of emptiness they feel inside, but they believe that the more they can make, maybe the better they will feel. But that is how they learn about what can really make us feel peace and joy.
Yeah, exactly. They learn through that money, through that pain,
because they will, sooner or later they're gonna realize that I have everything I needed to have, but why I still don't feel the joy? I'm not feeling better, right? So they know it's not the material things, it's not money, it's something else. That's how they learn.
Yeah, they know. Well, materials can be in a way of a loving sense. You can give each other materials, money. It can also be love. It's hard to make it in that black or white. Materials don't, in a sense, they don't mean anything.
Right.
They don't
have a built-in meaning.
Yeah. But what really matters is the intention, right?
So if they give the money, let's say, to their relatives to help them, then that money becomes also the expression of their love.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you donate that to some places, schools, to help the poor, then the money will be the meaning is something that you can give this money, the meaning to the money, as you are.
Exactly.
I feel so this is something that I did not ask. So Ashley also had a life on Andromeda.
Yeah, has very Andromeda. She has energy that's coming from there, that's causing her to be more drawn towards water, towards her favorite singer, and towards another one of her favorite singers. And then her father and her aunt possibly have that energy where it's just like very lighthearted, very like living in the present moment, and just a more positive sense. And that overall healing kind of energy that she has is from just that, incarnating on there. But it could also contribute to more free spiritness too, that the water, and
so the water can be her reminder of who she is.
Yeah, and she should spend more time in water and there's a lot of telepathy that can occur when in that water through herself and going to the ocean, the beach.
That is good for her.
Yeah.
It's like her permission slip that is always can be the reminder.
Yeah, it's a way for her to get more in tune with herself and her soul and be able to, follow her intuition more by being closer to that spot, that place that she resonates with.
So she should live in a place close to water?
Yeah, that would be pretty beneficial to her.
Any other lives? Any lives that she needs to revisit, or is not necessary?
Not too necessary, but there's a picture of a swan that I'm getting, possibly a swan in water, is like a deeper connection to that.
To the swan?
Yeah.
What kind of?
Some sort of like swan angel like being. Maybe that was one of her past incarnations or future.
So that
Swan flying.
Is flying?
Yeah.
So that doesn't sound like it's on Earth. But swan can really fly a little bit?
A little bit. Maybe it's a different animal.
I'm sure she's looking at this with you right now.
Yeah.
So what is the message from this?
It's possibly the free spiritness that's within her. That being in water and flying, that's more of how she wants to live.
Yes. I feel she's very much on the right path, and she is following more and more of her intuition, and she's growing very fast.
Yeah, she is.
And almost I feel like nothing can stop her.
Yeah, she experiences energy shifts very rapidly, and that can impede upon the progress, but she has to learn how to really ground and being able to make it more steady. And like that up and down kind of feeling.
I see. But she has time. And is there it is necessary for her to meet with her guides today?
That could always be of assistance. Yeah.
And is there I'm sure she has multiple guides. Is there any particular main one?
Yeah, she has around eight.
So this is something I want to ask. Some people have 3, some people have 8, some people have more 15, 19. What is the reason?
That's just how it is. It's depending on their growth and who they have familiar size themselves with.
So the guides, before they became the guide, they volunteered?
Yes, they volunteered. They've been here. They've had lives together.
Right. But it can be, let's say I have one of my guides is Archangel Michael. That also because we had a life together, or just he's he's the perfect guide for me, and I ask him, can you be my guide?
It's both.
But also one guide, right, can assist many people? Yeah,
there's not just one person they're assigned to. They're assigned to a bunch, not too many, not too little. Whatever they feel is right, they'll choose.
And so is there anyone, one of the 8 guides that you suggest for me to take her to meet with, or I don't need to? I just give a regular command and see who is gonna show up.
No, the right one will come to her as long as you command it.
I see. All right, so I'm gonna do that now, and then maybe I'll talk to you later after this. So I want Ashley to listen to my words, and I'm going to let you meet with one or a few of your guides, and the right one will come out, will show up. So I'm gonna count from 1 to 3. On the count of 3, you let me know who you're meeting with. 1. Now you are going to be able to meet one or some of your guides, and you're going to that place, that moment. 2, and you can almost feel the energy from them. And 3, let me know.
Her main guide that she is able to connect with is named Arsemus.
Arsemus?
Arsemus.
Can you spell it?
Arsemus. And she connects with him when she eats less, when she meditates more, and is in nature more.
And can I have a conversation with Arsemus?
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna let her channel that Arsemus, counting 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, I will be able to have a conversation with Arsemus. So she will be listening to this conversation. 1, 2, and 3. Hello, is this Arsemus?
Yeah.
Hi, I appreciate this communication for you to come to this moment so I can ask some questions, and she's listening, and also we have the recording. So anything you want to let her know before I ask anything?
She has as was said before, following the path, the higher self, that heart, that is key for her right now.
And she's doing that.
Yes, she is, but she could work on it more.
And what do you do to let her feel your energy or your guidance? What is your role?
I'm in the trees. I send her messages through the trees.
So she will be able to connect with you when she is in with trees?
Yep.
She does not know that yet.
No, but she will.
So when she is, it doesn't matter which tree, or one tree or many trees.
Yep, and animals too, but only certain ones, like chipmunks, squirrels, and the flowers.
But this is kind of something new to me. So why is this just can be this way, that you are sending your energy when she's with nature? So otherwise, let's say if she's indoors in a room, and she will not be able to feel your energy.
It's harder for her, but she can still.
She still can tune into
in the room. Yes.
I see. So this will make her want to be in the nature more.
Yeah, she feels a lot more grounded and stable when she's in nature.
So what your energy can do for her? What do you make her feel?
Confidence, wisdom, no fear. Just she can just be when she's around me. And that actually attracts a lot of people more to her, which she likes because she's very passive. She doesn't like actively searching for people. She just likes being and having people search for her so that she can give them wisdom.
So because she receives wisdom from you, so that will make her attract others.
Exactly.
So okay, so when we have more wisdom, so when we have that type of energy, the right person who can be attracted to that energy will show up.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So whoever needs that energy at that moment will get it just by being attracted to it. You attract what you need or what you are already.
See. So also confidence, you can make her feel that way.
Yeah. When she goes into nature, she could tap into me, and I send it through her, the messages, and then she gets them, and she feels so much more stable after, and like she can really achieve anything.
Yes, because of confidence, without confidence, we cannot do much.
Exactly. Mindset is so important. Probably might even be more important than the knowing. You have to have that energy to be able to obtain what you need, what you want, what you want to achieve.
Right. You can have all the knowledge or the knowing, but if you don't have confidence, you can't do much.
Yeah, exactly.
And that has a lot to do with no fear. So because the person is confident, so the person will have less fear.
Yeah, exactly.
So confidence, if you explain what confidence is to know who you truly are.
It's knowing who you truly are and what you want, and being relentless in that, and
be able to execute. Take
action.
I see. I feel that way. Confidence and being proud of yourself there are two different things. Confidence is I feel it's like you know who you are, but you don't act more than who you are or less than who you are.
Yeah, it's not selfish. It's something that you need to have to be able to obtain what you want in life and not miss out.
Right.
Not create resentment later.
I see. I don't have much to ask you. Anything else you can let her know that I did not ask? And
since she is so passive, that's how she is. She can change it if she wants. She doesn't have to be that way, but it's better that she just acts how she is naturally and just lets everything go. Like let whatever comes to her come and let that happen.
Right.
But also know what she wants to, and that she can have the power and the ability, the wisdom to have whatever she really wants.
So being passive is not a bad thing.
No, because it allows her to accept whatever comes, whatever goes, go right through her.
Yeah, some people are more active.
Yeah.
And that's their energy.
And that she allows whatever is to be, to accept it.
Yes. And actually not many people can do in a good way, be passive and still allow this.
Yep.
Anything else? I'm sure you had, let's say, lives with Ashley before.
Yes, we have incarnated.
Yeah.
And we thought it was best this time that I just stand back for now and help her, guide her through this life. And I'm always there with her whenever she needs me.
So let me ask you a different question. So I always wonder, the spirit guides, they are taking care of this soul, this person who's on earth. But you also do other things, other you have other activities, let's say, besides maybe you can guide more people, but you don't just do this one thing. Do you do other things to for your spiritual growth?
Some soul activities, we interact with the other souls and the other energies in the spirit world. So that helps with it.
So you can do that at the same time. You can assist Ashley and also be in the spirit world.
Yep.
So that's
you can also incarnate, and you just split up the energy.
Yeah, of course. But just it's hard for our human mind to really comprehend, to understand how that works.
Yeah.
So we are doing that as well, right? We're human, but we also have the energy in the spirit world, and also at the same time, like part of our energy can be someone's guide.
Yep. Yeah. So we can be in the physical form and the spirit, our spirit be in physical form, and then also be a spirit guide as well. It's just split up the energy.
I see. So we can be, in a way, we can be each other's spirit guide. Is possible?
Yeah. We're all, in a sense, spirit guides
for each other.
But there's assigned ones when you're in the body. There are specific assigned ones that you have, and they help you in times of distress mostly.
So you are always, let's say, if you are Ashley's one of her spirit guides, and so you are going to like guide her, through the entire life.
Yes. There can be other ones that come and go.
But you are one of the main.
But I'm one of the main ones that I'm assigned to stay the whole life.
I see. So let's say if Ashley, something happened to her and she's very lost, or she's very unhappy, and if she calls your name, and you will be able to do something, or
yeah, I appear in an orb when she's crying,
and she can
see it, and to know that someone is there to help her. She's not always alone when it's happening.
I see. So just by calling your name will make you come to to come close to her.
Yeah.
Because this is something that it's when we don't see the energy, we just don't feel anyone is there for us. But that's not the case.
Nope. Always come through in an object, material, something. So there'll always be a way.
If we're crying, we're worrying, we are feeling sad, and the spirit guides, they are with us without us calling their names.
Yeah, they're always with you. We can watch you, and we can send energy to the brain.
And so sometimes
wavelengths to be able to pick you up and to try to get you out of that negative mind state. It could be like through maybe a text message from a friend. We can channel that.
Or you can also give us like some sort of an inner voice, like we hear some words.
Yeah, we can channel that higher self, your higher self, that can pick you back up.
I see. So, but we have to follow our intuition in order to.
And that's another thing. Yeah, with that third eye, the pineal gland.
Yeah.
That if that's more open, that's easier to get those messages. If it's not, it's harder. But whenever there's a time of being down, we will try as hard as we can to send those messages to you, so that you do not spiral.
So when we receive, is it really received from the third eye area?
Yeah.
And so is this true that I cut off cheese because I heard it blocks the third eye, where it doesn't help?
Certain foods can block it.
Can you give us the names of those foods?
It can be food, but it also can be your energy. So if you have more negative energy, that is bigger. That is a much bigger blockage. Yeah, than food. Food can be, but it's important to focus more on the energy itself and spreading that love and light, and that will open it. That'll be a better way to open it. And meditating and being in nature more than food, but more organic foods definitely are way easier to open it. If you're going to eat something that's very processed, then that will not be the case.
It does not help, but it's more important for us not to be in the negative emotions. Right? Because we can keep thinking about something that does not make us feel good, and then we can be in the loop, and we go deeper and deeper. It's almost like a black hole, and you're caught up in those thoughts. Yeah,
relationships are more important to be able to help with that, and spreading that love and light opens it up.
Yes. So let's say you are in a negative emotions, and if someone, it can be friendship, can be personal relationship, and if that is the right relationship, that will help that person to get out of those negative thoughts.
Exactly.
See, sometimes can be from someone it's not that close to you, but the person said one word or one gesture or one smile can also help us.
Yeah, just something that even simple will help you open it up, and that's all that needs to happen for you to change that, shift that energy. And
right. And so let's say if that happen, it also can be because of the spirit guide. Let's say you did something to make that happen.
Yeah, it is sometimes. Yes.
Right.
That shift in the energy through sending out those energies to those around them, to the environment, or to their third eye, and allowing them to have more faith in us, or in that there's something higher than themselves that's guiding them in the right direction.
Right. Yes. Because when I'm in let's say in a kind of not very high vibration, when I feel my energy is low, it's usually something will happen that will change how I feel, and I don't know why, but always something sooner or later something will happen. So that is how it works, because of the guides and our higher self, they're all assisting. Yeah. So we're never alone, no matter how much we feel we're alone.
Never.
Yes, because we don't believe much when we cannot see. So people say, why this happened to me, why me? But they're not alone, they have support, and they can ask for more help. So we shouldn't have much fear.
Nope. Just living in the present moment and loving as many people as possible as we can is key.
So the more we love others, we have compassion towards others, the more we can receive the same energy.
Yes, and acceptance.
And acceptance. So how about let's say if someone who, let's say, is acting as a taker. So let's say this person likes to take other people's love, their kindness, or their support, mental support or material support. But this person, let's say, is not willing to give or send back to others. What do you say?
They've dig themselves into a hole when they do that, because they're only sending energy for them, and they don't act as someone who, so if everybody did that, then we wouldn't learn anything. There's no learning in giving to yourself. It's like
there's no learning just by giving only to yourself.
So
when you say they were put themselves into a hole,
because many people do that, and then they dig themselves into a deep hole of just emptiness through only giving to themselves. Because if you take for yourself, you get nothing. There's nothing. It's like shallow. There's a hole, and others will have less.
So because you don't
do that,
when you only give to yourself, then you don't get anything out from doing that. But if you give to others, then you get something from others. You get energy back. But if you only give to yourself, then you have nothing else.
You have no energy.
But how about, I felt, is this the case if you only take energies from other people and don't give, then you also, because the energy cannot just stay in one place, right? If you give to yourself, then you have to give to others. So then you will have less energy, because the energy will eventually, stay away from you.
Yes, you're sucking other people's energy.
And then you will lose, because of that energy will also be taken.
Stolen energy.
Right, that's why you feel empty.
So then you just keep, that never-ending spiral of just taking it, sucking it, and then getting it for that time, but then when it's lost, just like money.
If you take money from
you're sucking it, and then you get it, and then
and you lose it.
It's fleeting, and then you have to go back out and get more, and then it's that never-ending cycle of the energy vampire.
I see. So that's why it's not worth it by not giving the energy back to others.
Because then the universe won't give you energy then, because it's like you don't deserve it, you're taking it, so you will have less, and you'll have to keep searching for it.
So this is also can call is a part of the law of attraction. If you want more, you give more. Because they don't want you to be awake then, if you're going to be like that. They say one more time.
Then they don't want you to be awake then. Like, less energy, you won't be awake, so you won't be as awoken until you realize that and give it out.
Interesting. So you will not be awakened
spiritually and physically. You'll be asleep more. Spend more time sleeping. So be in the spirit world to learn.
Interesting. Because you need to learn more.
Yeah.
So is this really the physical, what will happen to this person physically? Is this person person will need more sleep.
Yeah, because they have less energy because they're taking it
So
from everybody.
I see.
Or they're allowing others to suck their energy.
I see. So though if someone always feels tired, that can be because of that.
Yeah.
So let's say there are people, they have this fatigue, like for no reason. The person doesn't have any problem, but the person feels tired and needs to sleep more. It can be because of that.
Yes, that can be a reason.
And that's why I feel, I heard other people tell me the same thing. The more spiritual, let's say, I become, the less sleep I feel I need. Does that make sense?
Because you're not draining your energy.
You're not wasting.
You're not wasting it. You're using it for good, for positivity, so you'll get more and you'll feel better. And that's just how it is.
So the sleep, the purpose of sleeping is the main reason is for us to go back to the spirit world to learn.
The spirits guide us through our dreams.
But why the dreams, the part we can remember usually is something not very, like it does not make too much sense.
You can remember, it stays with you when you wake up unconsciously. It's there, but you just won't remember. It's in your unconscious.
Right. Or subconscious.
Or subconscious. You can access it when something, only when you really need to remember it, or if something triggers the remembrance.
So it's in you. You just don't need to remember that you know that.
Yeah.
Until something happens that you need that wisdom, then wisdom will come out.
Yes.
So again, the part we can remember about our dreams, it can be very like something that does not make much sense, or kind of silly, or kind of meaningless. Why is like that?
That's just a way to exercise the brain at times, just to allow your brain to rest and recharge the dreams that mean nothing.
So that's how our brain can rest?
Yeah, it's like a physical recharge action that the brain does, and that just allows the body to rest. It doesn't always
make sense.
Have to be spiritual and have to make sense.
But that's what the brain needed at that moment. That is the best the brain can do. Yeah,
it doesn't always have to make sense. Sometimes, in a sense, it's perspective wise. It means something. It doesn't mean something. It's there's always meaning, but when there's a lot less meaning, it's the brain charging itself, because it's does a lot for the humans, and it needs time during the night to really take a break.
So we shouldn't always try to interpret the meaning of dreams.
Yeah, not always. But the ones that are more profound, you'll remember more because they're important for your spiritual lesson.
Yeah, so all I can remember, there's a meaningful moment of my dreams is one day I was just in my room, and then I heard this sentence from the ceiling and says, this is God's gift. This is God's gift. And I don't know what is God's gift. I don't know. But I know it's a positive. It's something good. But it doesn't matter. We don't have to try very hard to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's
just let it be.
Yeah, just accept, let it be. Don't think about it too much. But it is important to remember your dreams, because they're very, it's your spirit guides directly contacting you and channeling you through that dream. And
so they are kind of the designers.
Yeah, they create the dreams in a sense. They're in it. They are in it.
But then what do you say about sleep paralysis? What is that for?
Yeah, there will be times when that happens, when you wake up, when you're in the REM sleep.
Yeah.
And it can be quite a frightening experience for people, but
yes, but it's not negative.
Yeah, it's only negative because they create it to be, that they have that the fear of death, fear of not being in control.
Right.
But it's something that's needed, because when you're in that deep state, it's like all the muscles have to be not moving. You have to leave the body in a sense. So the body, you leave it to go to the spirit world, then you come back.
And you need some time to be able to move.
Yeah.
Because the soul has to enter this physical body.
Exactly.
And so that it needs so it seems like the brain or the mind will shut down the body a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I heard from a channeler. And I try to really believe that, to understand this is the way it is. But every time when that happens to us, and it's still not a pleasant feeling. Yeah, because we just we feel like, oh, we're dying. Yeah, but it has to be that way. Otherwise, then we really can die, right? If the body moves all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not
Dangerous.
like there's a negative energy is attacking us.
No.
But why some people can see like a shadow or some black, dark energy? That's a different.
It could be dark energy crossing over that just hasn't been able to cross over. It's like they're stuck. So that could be part of it. Well, because a lot of times drug addicts will get addicted to that feeling and they have a hard time crossing over when if they die. They can't get that stuck on that feeling.
I see. So that can be because of that, the body paralyzed. Yeah,
and dark entities, they can also enter when you're in a state of intoxication. So if you drink too much, do too much heroin, that's what creates that extreme negative energy, is having those other dark entities being able to enter.
Because they kind of feel they match your energy.
Yeah, that invites them in by going that low, low vibration.
Because your track, like energy attracts like energy.
Yeah.
I see. So what do you say about marijuana?
It is spiritually, it doesn't really help. I mean, it can actually bring down, it brings down the energy. It doesn't help with spiritual growth, but it's definitely a recreational thing that people have been doing, and that's their choice, you know. It's like, it brings it down for sure. It doesn't help them in any way.
Yeah, that's what I feel. It's not as bad as other drugs, but it's not good. It doesn't help. Yeah, it's compared with alcohol. It's about the same, or alcohol can be worse.
It actually can be worse than alcohol. And that's the energy I'm getting, because it creates fear and paranoia, which separates more. It separates us more, having that paranoia. Someone will do it and they'll paranoia occurs. That doesn't occur with alcohol. With alcohol, it creates fear. Alcohol alleviates fear. So that's the difference.
See, that's very good to know, because because now it became kind of illegal and people do this much more often, or more people are doing this. And I won't let them know. I want them, at least, right? They should have this awareness that it does not help any physically or mental or spiritual, unless you have some pain and you need release that pain.
Yeah,
there's a physical pain, but other than that,
recreationally, people will use both. A little bit isn't going to be the end of the world, but it doesn't help them spiritually. So if that's what their energy is going to, they want to be more spiritual and they want to enhance their spiritual growth, and they should stay away from that. If they don't and they just want to be more chill with it, then that's their decision.
Right.
So it's like, it's all from like a place of love and compassion, really.
So let's say, right, that's very different. That's totally different from psychedelics.
Yeah, psychedelics, completely different story. That brings them back to the higher self, brings them back to the source. And it depends on the psychedelic too, because some don't bring them as much back.
Like what?
Like ketamine, PCP, not so much, but more ones like
mushroom,
LSD, mushrooms, and ayahuasca and DMT.
What do you say about Bufo?
Bufo?
Yeah, from the total experience, non-duality is also good.
It can be good. It can enhance spiritual growth, and it can do that. And then it's really your choice. You can incarnating a bunch of times can get you there, but it's your decision whether you want to grow through that, through taking the drugs or not. The ayahuasca is very powerful out of all of them, because it teaches you lessons that you learn, but much quicker, depending on how you do it.
It's like a crash course.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to Peru next week.
Yeah.
And what do you say about iboga?
Iboga.
Iboga. It's from a tree.
If it's tree energy, it can be very healing, because that is where spirit guides will be. And that higher self, that intuition that we all encompass, we all have, is in there.
I see.
And that sense of being, that presence, not just like tree energy, because trees are grounded. They change with the seasons. They just are. They
don't have attachment.
Yeah. They allow the leaves to go. They come back seasons. They don't move. They're just there.
Yes. And also ayahuasca is a vine, right? The
vine grows on the trees. It comes from that vine. So that nature energy, that sense of just being present and there and grounded and stable, and that taking that will enhance the spiritual growth.
Yes, I totally feel that, and it's just powerful. It make you grow very, at a how to say, much higher, faster speed. And you can learn so much more just from one ceremony. Almost one ceremony equals like you read 3 books.
Yeah, but it could be even deeper than just the 3 books too.
Yes.
Be like experience, like
because you're
times 10.
Right.
Like wow.
Yes, it's so much realizations just from that one ceremony. You understand so much more. Yeah, and you are not just understand. You can feel it. You can really say, I was there. Right? Like feeling this energy.
Yeah.
Or feeling this experience. Yeah. It's just it's there's no words. And so Ashley had that experience. I think that also enhanced her learning.
Yeah, she felt more of a sense of interconnectedness with everybody and every being, and like she didn't see any difference between her and the people around her when she did it, and she saw the shapes, and she could get a much better sense of life after death and what happens when we die, and that you just leave the body or what, and that's really it. And she could sense that energy that was similar to her, like the people that she met that were had very similar energy, and she truly didn't feel any difference at all between her and them. That more of that non-duality sense.
So that's how we can feel that we are all connected.
Yeah, that we're all one consciousness, just in 3D reality and physical bodies separated.
Yes, the oneness. Anything else before I let you go? Anything else you want to give her as a message?
Yeah, just ride the wave. Just be. That's all you have to be. That doesn't have to get more complicated than that.
Right. We make it too complicated, but it's simple.
It's very simple, and the more simple you make it, the happier you will be.
Yes. So almost like we should just look at this world or live in this life like children.
Yes. That is the wisdom.
Yes. Where they're our teachers. We don't need to go to a spiritual master. We can just look at a child.
Oh, there you go. That's my new spiritual master that I'll follow, and that's it.
They're everywhere, and just look at how they play.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's such an awakening feeling that when I look at them, they live in the moment, right? And they have no fear, and they follow their intuition. They're perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it, and I really appreciate this conversation, this dialogue. And,
yes.
And you give us a lot of very important, critical information.
Yes. Thank you for your curiosity.
No, yes, that's all.
That's so key.
Yes, that's all. I want to keep having this, keep acting as like a child. So now, Ashley, I want you to listen to my words again. And now I want to take you to a place that I want you to see if there's anything that you need to use this energy to heal whatever it does not serve you, whatever that you want to maybe transform certain energy from negative to positive, from fear to confidence. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and on the count of 3, you will go to this healing place from the universe, which is the most relevant place for your soul, for your body. And you don't have to think about anything. You will be at the right place. So counting 1, we're going to that place, to that beautiful, loving place. 2, you feel very excited to be there, and you can feel the energy from this place. And 3, you are.
There's a lot of focus on the breath and regulating it. That is important for all of us, to focus on the breath and feeling more alive rather than just being more in tune with the body is so important. And you can get that by going into nature, touching nature in any sense, animals, birds, eating natural foods, meditating, all of that, yoga.
It seems that everything is so simple.
Yeah, getting away from technology, getting away from being indoors too much, and stop working so much. Just do what you got to do at work and then leave. That's
I see. Not like all day.
No.
And feel like, oh, I need to stay
Yeah.
more.
No, don't do any of that. that.
Yes. Just be in the nature more.
Yeah, and travel more. So how are you supposed to learn?
Right.
You stay in the same place your whole life.
Right.
How do you can't spread knowledge that way.
Right.
And get off on the other energies from other dimensions, other galaxies, other countries by traveling. And then bringing it back, and then it's like that never-ending spreading of energy, love, and
because you need to create something that for you to experience more.
Yeah, that nourishes the soul so much. As scary as it can be, you just do it.
But it's really exciting.
Yes, and don't think the mind too busy.
Yes. And this is the hardest thing almost for everyone, unless the person is a child. Otherwise, we're just so like into this thinking, and it's something that is very hard to stop us from doing it. But by having this awareness and then exercise, right, and really practice, we can think less and feel more.
Yeah.
And that's all I can tell myself or other people, that you don't need to compare with others, but compare with the you before. If you're doing a little bit better this month or this week or today, then you are making progress.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, that's something so important, because if we keep thinking, then everything, nothing can move forward, right? Everything gets stuck, and then we're in the loop and we cannot sleep, and it's still not working.
No.
Very good. So I feel, do you feel we're complete for today?
Yes, I feel like she has learned everything that she needs to know.
So again, I'm sure she will appreciate this, all the beings, the energy that showed up, and gave her those messages. And also I feel grateful, and that I have this opportunity to learn from doing a session like this, and to really hear higher self guide how they answer my question, how they explain. And it's so much. I feel so much love. And so the recording will be able to come the record that she watch again and again, listen to those words, so we don't forget, and we follow and we grow. So thank you again.
Yes, and thank you, Naomi, for your curiosity and your willingness to know more. And we really appreciate your braveness through all this, and all the love that you have in this spreading of knowledge.
Thank you so much for your words, and that really warms my heart, and that is my encouragement. And I really feel so much gratitude, right? The people like me, like Ashley, that we have this opportunity in this life to be able to become awakened, and then keep learning and keep helping each other, support each other, and so much that I cannot even express feeling in words. So it's better to just use this encouragement to put into action. And thank you. We will never forget words. So now, thank you. And I want Ashley to just listen to my words, and so I'm going to take you back, and I'm sure you will be able to come back this reality, to this time, this room, and this life, feeling wonderful and feeling refreshed and recharged. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. On the count of 3, you'll be back feeling wonderful. 1. So everything that you have experienced, that you have learned, that you have felt from this session will become something that you can integrate into your life from now on, and have used all the wisdom, the knowing, to be able to be more of the service, become service to others, to also nurture your soul and serve your soul's purpose. 2. So now you are coming back very nicely, very peacefully. And 3, feeling wonderful all over. And start moving your arms, body, and your eyes. We'll come back. So how you feel?
I feel good.
And do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember most part?
Yeah.
So how long do you think it has been?
2 hours.
Let me see.
Maybe more like 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah. A little bit over.
Yeah, that was intense.
Really? Feel that way? You are very relaxed.
Yeah.